Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming out today and talk about this Rays football team. Talking about our prior game, we had the opportunity to play a little extra football on Saturday, and I'm pleased we were able to find a way to win the game in overtime. Thought we had some outstanding individual performances, that most of which we've talked about. You know, whether it was Chris Conte with 10 tackles or the defense's 10 hits on the passer, to Luke McCaffrey's 202 total yards, to TJ McMahon being recognized by the Manning Award for his performance and having a 90 QBR. So a lot of good things, but I think that this was a great team win. It's what we said the other day. I still feel that way today. We needed everybody, and I think it was a character-revealing, gritty team win, and that's pretty cool to be a part of. Offensively, I thought we played with way too much error in the first half, including the critical self-inflicted wounds of fumbling the football, and one of them coming at the 1 yard line, which we know is critical. We were able to get our act together and find a way to score one more point than our opponent, which is always the goal, and especially when you talk about a conference road game, that's the goal. So very pleased with that, and I thought our defense did a great job keeping us in the game until our offense found a rhythm. So it's again, that yin and yang that you always need in a team, of one side stepping up. And then coming out of halftime, with the offense scoring 35 points after halftime, that's a pretty good day at the office, including scoring a touchdown in 3 plays in overtime, running the ball all 3 times. So a lot of good there. Defensively, certainly not our best game, but when all the chips were on the line, we found a way to end the game by denying them that 2-point opportunity. So I chalked that up to a culmination of all the hits on the passer, being able to stop the run game all day long. So a lot of good things went into that last play. And I think I want to say this, after preparing for them and watching it in game, I don't think Sonny Cumbie is just a good offensive creative mind. I think he's a great one. I think he did a phenomenal job. I thought his kids played incredibly hard. The way that they came out in the first quarter was impressive. The way they fought on both sides of the ball, and to jump out on us 10-0, again, my hat's off to what he's building there. And but once again, glad we found a way to win the game. One word that we use a lot in this program, and some of you have talked about it a little bit with some of our kids, is mudita. And in short, it's joy for others, and having the same joy, maybe more, for somebody else's success than your own. And that was one thing that I saw on Saturday, and even when we weren't up on the scoreboard, we had people on the sideline being outstanding teammates, picking each other up, always being there for each other. And I think it's just the culture that our players and our coaches have set, and it's so fun to be a part of. I'm so thankful for the player-led team that we are, and for the way these guys believe in each other and fight for each other. It's, again, a lot of fun. What we're working for this week, we're working to prepare the way that we know works, to have the best Tuesday practice we've had all year, put the work in to the game plan, and then go on the field and put the work in on the field, like we know we need to. And then have the best Wednesday, the best Thursday, best Friday yet. And then what we're looking to do is we're looking to play 60 minutes, all 4 quarters, in all 3 phases of the football up to our standard. And that's something we have not come close to yet. But what I do believe in my core is that we can beat anybody in this conference when we do that. And so, again, it comes down to the only people that can beat the Rice Owls is the Rice Owls. And we got to make sure we're staying out of our own way. The formula we talk about is starting fast, staying focused, and finishing strong. And that's going to be the mantra again this week. We have put this game to bed. We had a chance to watch the film with the guys yesterday and had a really good Monday practice. And so we're moving on to Charlotte. We know this will be the first game under the interim head coach, Pete Rosamondo. And just like any other game, we're going to prepare the right way. We're going to look at the film. We're going to put a great plan together. We're going to give it to the guys, and we're going to work our butts off this week so that we can come back out here and HRS this Saturday and work on going 1-0 and celebrating homecoming. With that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Each season has its own story. What have the close games and the close wins told you about the identity of this year's team?
I think character. I don't know how you can say anything but character. There's so many times, the character and belief, I guess, JP, to be honest with you, that's one thing we talk about. There's a lot of elements of getting a win like that where you have to come in here and watch a film that's not real fun to watch, play in and play out. You feel like you're getting coached pretty hard by your coaches. But that's what we had to do, because the win wasn't up to our standard. Our play wasn't up to our standard. And when you win, sometimes it's like lipstick on a pig, where it looks and feels a little pretty, but at the end of the day, the thing stinks, right? And so it's great to get a dub and have a lot to work on. And so, again, that's kind of how we're attacking this thing.
You talked about 35 points after halftime. If you go back and you take like second quarter FAU to first quarter LaTech, a full game, the offense basically was stagnant, didn't get anywhere, and then you turn it on from the McCaffrey touchdown in the second quarter on, it just explodes. What did you see that the team started doing better that ended in a 4, 5, 6 touchdown shift?
Yeah, I wish I could tell you it was some unbelievable speech, or there was a couple things we tweaked at halftime and a couple changes and adds we made, but there weren't many, to be quite honest with you. And I would say that what you said is probably true when you talk about the end of the FAU game in the first quarter of this one. But in the second quarter, we drove down to the 1-yard line and put the ball on the ground. So it's not like we weren't moving the rock, and then to get the other touchdown through the air to Luke was a big deal. So I think there's a lot of things that went right for us to only be down 10-7 at halftime, including Sean Fresh's pick in the end zone, including the kicker missing one right before half. That, again, like, I went in the locker room very grateful to only be down 3 points after the way we played in the first half. We knew we'd taken their best shot. We just had to come out and play our style of football. There was not going to be a whole lot of magic. I'm very thankful that we were able to come out and execute better offensively, for sure.
You mentioned a few changes. One of those was Juma, getting him his first real significant run of the season. What did you see from him? What did he do that enabled the running game to really get going?
Yeah, there's a couple things, Matt. Number one, this is a guy that is coached by C.J. Anderson, right? Like, who's had some of the best running back coaches across the world of college football and pro football. You talk about guys like Ron Gould, who I had the opportunity to work with for a year, and all the guys he played under in the league. He's just got so much knowledge. And what was really cool is when Juma got those opportunities, he put those drills on film. So what did he do? Well, he did things like run and make contact with his near leg and near shoulder and power through a defender. Like, there were multiple times, I think everybody wants to talk about overtime and the great run that he had late in the game and the touchdown, but the third down runs, when he kept the sticks alive and got himself more carries and got our offense another set of changes. Those are the things that Juma came in and did a phenomenal job at. And, you know, you guys know I sat up here last week and we weren't talking about giving Juma more carries, right? That was not a goal. We were going to limit it and really try to be as specific as we could with Ari and Cameron. And it just turns out Ari didn't have a good day. And because Ari wasn't having a good day, the person we trusted next most in protection and to do all the things in our offense was Juma. And so he gets a call-up and just performed. You know, it's not too dissimilar to him finding out the day after Thanksgiving in 2018, after not taking a single rep with the offense, hey, you're going to be the starter. Like, jump in here in the ODU game, and he gets a helmet sticker, rushes for 220 or something. I guess we just never need to tell him he's planning to play again, and then just throw him in the game, and it goes a lot better. But all jokes aside, like, his leadership, things he's done for us on special teams, I don't think there's any doubt in any of our minds that he would take advantage of the next opportunity. I guess, like, if we had known he would perform that well, of course we would have done it. But I just think the chance that we got to it and that he maximized that opportunity at the end of the day is what I'm so proud of him for. And so pleased, and he's earned more carries going forward. There's no doubt about that.
I was going to say, now that you've seen him do that, you referenced the big game, the best running back game you've had here, probably with the 200 yards against OU.
Probably so.
How does that change? Last week it was slimmed down to 2 guys. How does that change your plan going forward in the running game?
Oh, I think it's still down to 2 guys. It's just a different 2 guys right now. You know, like, Jim's going to be getting some program carries in the openers and series. He's probably going to do some things for us on third down as well. Cameron's going to have his role because Cameron is still performing at a very, very high level, and with or without the ball. Cameron's affecting the game when he's in it right now.
And we talked about Juma, we referenced Luke's big day. T.J. McMahon, no interceptions, and caught fire late, had a big run of his own. How have you seen him grow and turn the page like that?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I mean, I think, like, we talk about it all the time, right? That position gets too much credit, too much blame in the sport of football. But it's also the hardest position to play in all of sports. And, you know, the man in the arena, it's a tough place to be when things aren't going well and everybody's staring at you every play. And he came out of the FAU game very disappointed. We were disappointed in his performance, and we couldn't make any bones about that. But what we could do is we could support him, and we could tell him we got his back. We thought we had a good week. We thought we had a great plan again this week, and it didn't start out as well, right? Like we missed some throws on 3rd and 4th down, and you're like, okay, we got to calm down. We got to get him in rhythm, and that's all he wanted. He just kept saying on the sideline, hey, just keep doing it, get me in rhythm. And it's always easier. Like the best friend of a quarterback is a good running game. And when you're rushing for almost 300 yards, that helps too. But he also made some Big Ten throws down the stretch, as you referenced, and some of that run game was his own legs. And that was so fun to be a part of. It was so fun to see him pull that ball and get loose and go make a big play for the Owls.
Coach, they have an interim coach. How challenging is that? Because you don't know what this guy's philosophy is really going to be, what they're going to do. And it's going to be a little difficult sometimes.
Yeah. I've only been in their situation one time, and it was in 2000 when I was a GA at Alabama. We got fired about 6 or 7 games in. And I remember that at that time, you tried to do right for the kids, but you sure were worried about your own family. Like you tried to make sure you were preparing them, but you're also making a lot more phone calls than you'd make during a normal game week. So I have no idea what they're going to do on any sides. I don't know. As the offensive line coach, is he going to say, hey, we're going to try to run the ball, we're going to try to lock this game down and give our defense a chance. I don't know if he's going to interfere on the defensive side of the ball. I really don't know. You're exactly right. But my sense is he's probably worried or probably trying to create as much stability as possible and go with what they know. And also like knowing that their best player on offense is Chris Reynolds. And the offense goes through the quarterback. So I don't know how much he'll want to change things other than put his arm around his coaches and team and try to get them to stay together. I would imagine that's his focus as much as anything.
As far as their defense, who are some of their top players and what are you kind of looking at?
Yeah, the captain is a kid that we know well in Marquise Watts, number 0. He plays on the offense's left tackle almost exclusively. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a defense that's going to have components of movement, but they've also decided to play more base than they have, and they've done better when they played base and kind of just stayed and played more zone out back. And so that's going to make us earn things. That's not going to give us like man coverage to just have somebody run by somebody. So whether they're playing their cloud, their cover 2, or whatever it is behind it, they're doing a good enough job fitting the run. Then again, I think they're just going to make us earn it, and we're prepared to do that.
In that offense, Reynolds, obviously big game last year, but he's got 3 like proven veteran receivers. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's same 3, right? Yeah, I mean, it's for largely the same personnel that we're going to play in the Charlotte game again. Now, the good thing about that for us is I think we've evolved a lot. We've grown a lot. So I welcome that opportunity. But it is, yeah, we know them well. We know how explosive those receivers are. We all remember where we were. We were in the 4th quarter, up 10 points with 6 minutes to play, and right down the field. And then we couldn't get a first down offensively, or maybe we got one but couldn't get the second one, and then there it goes into overtime, and we didn't perform in overtime. So we know what the thing looked like, but I do think we're a very different team, whereas their cast of characters is pretty similar.
Anything else for folks in the room? David or Steve, you got anything?
All right, good to go. Thank you all. Have a great day.